Foodie. We're ready to make some more Christmas cookies. This is actually my favorite Christmas cookie. It's called Kifli, and this recipe is pretty unique and very different than anything I could find on the internet, but it's also very, well, time consuming. It takes like 2 days to make these things. So, and this is the way my mom made them. So this is what we'll do. I've got 6 cups of flour and 2 sticks of butter. The recipe called for a cake of yeast, which I don't think they make cakes of yeast anymore. So I bought these packages of active dry yeast, and then I'm going to make it according to the instructions and put it in our mixture. Into our mixture, I've got 1 cup of Crisco I'm going to add. Here's our yeast mixture. I have 2 egg yolks and then 1 whole egg. Now the interesting ingredient in this, and I have no idea why it's this way, I've got 1 cup of evaporated milk less 1 tablespoon. So I made a cup of evaporated milk and then I removed a tablespoon and threw it away. Why that makes a big difference, I don't know. I know baking is pretty precise. So here's basically our dough mixture. So I'm gonna mix this up with my hands until I got a real nice dough. Okay, so we got the dough all nice and mixed. We're going to roll balls about the size of walnuts. And you do that until the dough is gone. So we rolled them all into little walnut-shaped balls. Put them in a dish. And again, I don't know why, I'm only following my mother's instructions. I cover it with a towel. And we'll put it in the refrigerator. Tomorrow we will roll each of those little balls out, put filling in, roll them up and bake them. I do know that once the dough starts to warm up, it gets real sticky and sticks to the rolling pin and that. So while the cookies are baking, we actually put that back in the refrigerator, so that dough needs to be nice and cool. Hello, we're ready to do our cookies. They've been refrigerated overnight. They're nice and cold. So the first thing we do, I've got a big bag of powdered sugar, and you use a lot of it. So we're going to sprinkle it all over the table, not on your hand. So we're basically going to use powdered sugar instead of flour. And as we need more, we'll get. So, and what we've got for filling, my favorite is apricot. And then we have some almond. If you can find the Solo brand apricot, it's definitely the best. I'm having trouble finding anything with Solo. This is actually from last year. So we'll use these, and I actually am making some apricot cookie filling right now, and we'll see how it turns out, and maybe we'll use that instead. The first batch we'll use preserves. Normally you don't want to use jelly, or you don't want to use pie filling because it's too runny and it'll just come right out of the cookie. So we'll do one batch with this and see how they turn out. We've got 1 ball. I'm going to kind of push it flat and then roll it. So you want to roll this pretty thin into just like a big, as close as you can to a circle. Then we'll put in a small amount. It's easy to overfill these things. Then they'll spill out the back. So you want, I don't know what that is, maybe a half a teaspoon. Kind of put it towards one end. And then you basically roll it up. You want to kind of pinch the ends. And we'll put it on the cookie sheet. then we're gonna fill up that cookie sheet and we'll put them in the oven. One thing I didn't mention, we've got a nice plastic tablecloth here so that easy cleanup, and the dough won't stick to that either. I know this seems like it's a long way to do this, rolling out each of these individual balls. This is the way my mom did it, and like I said, this is my favorite Christmas cookie, so I want to do it exactly the way she did. And Christmas is all about spending time together with family.
Yeah, just like a Chinese dumpling.
Yeah, have a big party. So here's our first cookie sheet. We're gonna put it in the oven, 375. They're gonna bake for 15 to 20 minutes. We'll check them at 15 minutes. The second cookie sheet, we're gonna try some of the homemade apricot filling I made. And if that works better, I'll give you the recipe at the end of the video. So it's been 15 minutes. They're turning a nice little golden brown. But as you can see, the jelly or the apricot preserves are a little bit runny. They're still going to taste good, but we'll try the next batch with the apricot filling that I made. So we'll go on to the next batch and let these cool off. Actually, once you get the cookies off of the parchment paper, all that spilled out preserve stayed on the parchment paper, so that the cookies themselves actually look pretty good. So here's the batch we use, the homemade apricot cookie filling, and you can see it's much better. It's not coming out the sides. You got to be real careful to make sure you don't overfill. You can see a couple of the ones that did spill out were actually the almond. But yeah, these look good. I will include the recipe for the homemade apricot filling at the end of this video. We're going to experiment a little bit. I took the homemade apricot that I made and I mixed in some chopped pecans. So we're going to stuff a few of those and see how they turn out. Finally finished. This recipe is supposed to make about 120, and I think it did. We have a lot of cookies. One word of advice on the, I think I said that earlier in the video, but do not use jelly or jam for the inside because it tends to get runny and run out, and then you have less filling on the inside of it. At the end of this video, I'm going to show another little video of how to make the apricot filling. So, Catherine gets first honors today.
Okay.
Actually, we've already had about 6 or 7 of these, but we'll pretend like it's the first time.
You want to try?
Yeah.
Try this. Good. It's not almond.
This apricot? I guess she likes the almond better.
No, I like this.
Definitely my most favorite Christmas cookie. Thank you, Mom, for sending me the recipe. We had a little bit of trouble with the balls sticking together as we were rolling them out. And I said earlier in the video, I don't know why you have to roll these things, but I think the purpose is to get them all uniform sized cookie. But at the end, we kind of just started pinching little small balls and rolling it, and it worked fine as well. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Ed Foodie. I'm sorry, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For the apricot filling, take 1 pound of dried apricots and chop them. The video shows They're cut in half. I think it would do better if you cut them into fourths. I think the filling would be a little thicker if you cut it into fourths, and it would spoon into each of the cookie a little better. Add 1/2 cup orange juice and 1/2 cup water. Add 1 cup sugar. Heat over medium to medium-low heat until the mixture thickens. I cooked mine for about 30 minutes. When it's at a real thick consistency, mash up the bigger pieces of apricot until you've got a nice thick mixture. And that's it, we're finished. You will find this works much better than any preserves or jelly, as they're too thin for the cookie filling. Thanks for watching. Catherine and I would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We really appreciate you watching our videos.